Welcome, everyone, to another tale of the rupture. Join me as we step into a world 300 years into the future. 300 years after a global conflict that ended with two different catastrophes. The first, a strange event that shattered the earth, that boiled the seas, and also resulted in the spread of thousands of distortional anomaly fields across Eastern Europe. A strange event simply known as the rupture. World leaders, believing they were witnessing the deployment of a new weapon of mass destruction in their fear, unleashed nuclear fire on their enemies. The world was shattered. Those few that did survive did so by fleeing in underground bunkers, caves, vaults, or they survived by being just outside the rupture's influence. For example, the city of Krakow, Poland. 300 years later, and the rupture's influence remains. But the world had changed, a world both hideously changed yet frighteningly familiar. Life had mutated into strange and disturbing forms. Desperate men had formed gangs as raiders. Large factions have gained power, and distortional anomalies had plagued what was once Eastern Europe. But in the heart of these distortional anomaly fields came the discovery of strange objects known as artifacts. These artifacts could serve as either pretty trinkets. Some of them could had great power, power to bend time and shift gravity. In this world, survival is a daily battle. As factions make their play to gain control, what will you do to survive in this brutal, unforgiving, yet strange and wondrous place? Let us find out as we tell another tale of the rupture. Before we begin, I just want to address the viewers to thank you for your support to listening in today. To remind you guys to please like and subscribe to our channels. We also do something very unique compared to other channels. We also offer you guys the chance to vote on your favorite character, on who you like. Those characters that get the most votes will receive a point of what I refer to as cosmic intervention, which is one free reroll of a 1d20 dice. All right. We pick up where we left off from our last session. The group, both Willow and her companions, have been tasked by her mentor, the Caller, to deal with a group of men who have come into the region in force, wielding pre-war weaponry, wearing iron caparrots. These men are being referred to as the Pilgrims, as they claim to come into the region on sacred pilgrimage to rid the wasteland of heretics and to confront the denizens coming from the Serpent's Gate, which is the center of where the rupture occurred. Migo, who was also sent on the similar mission by the Father Cornelius, the leader of the Krakow mission, to deal with these men as well, where he is accompanied by Clems. You had survived an ambush set up by these men, the Pilgrims. Migo bravely and gallantly charged the second column of Pilgrims as they attempted to ambush you. He suffered only a minor injury. However, this encounter did not end well, as two homesteaders that were captured were used as bait to lure you out. Tharion, in his attempted to rescue them. but failed and became seriously injured as the result. Accompanying these groups is a renowned caravan guard known as the Warlock, who is accompanying Willow's group. He is a dark-skinned man with bright blue lights glowing up and down his arms and legs, all the way up into his eyes, indicating a mutation from an artifact. And with Migo and Clem's group, you have two scavengers known as Vaclav and Niklas. Vaclav being a whimsical former thief, and his best friend Niklas, who is basically the muscle of their operations. We go over now to Willow, as Tharion is going in and out of consciousness. A couple of hours have passed as the pilgrims have currently fled and been routed back out of these open plains. The Warlock approaches Willow's group. Tharion, you come back briefly from unconsciousness. The world is dizzy. You see double vision as you suffered a lot of blood loss, and you also almost died from pneumothorax. You see, as the Warlock approaches, standing above you, does anyone within Willow's group do anything?
Yeah, yeah. Willow's gonna say something. Please tell me you're not about to hurt him.
No, but I have some words for him, if you will permit me.
He is young.
How do you know? He's a mutant, just like us. For what we
Mutants
know, he could
always,
be older.
and like all animals, they always have what is known as a child form. Do take that into consideration.
I have. That doesn't change what I have to say to him.
At least don't hurt him too badly. She's just gonna like move away from him.
You, Tharion, you see a dark-skinned man with bright blue glowing eyes looking down at you judgmentally as you come back from unconsciousness. Do you react?
Would I like recognize him, or is he looking like a black blur to me?
You recognize him as the man that came by that was at the gas station with the others last night. Otherwise, go ahead and roll me a straight 1d20, and I'll give you a -2 to this because you are a stick to the wastelands and you're not someone who goes to Krakow very often.
11.
You don't know who he is. Is there anything you
Well,
do?
uh, I don't know his name, but I do know that he had wanted me to stick to the plan, and so seeing him towering over me, I'm, and with the look on his face, I can tell that he's mad. And so Tharion's gonna say, apologies for not sticking to the plan. And he's gonna let out a cough, and a little bit of blood is gonna come up because there's a little bit of blood in his lungs.
Save your breath and your energy. Your apologies are wasted on me. Have you given any thought as to what you did? Not only did you go against the plan, you acted foolishly and selfishly. You tried to rescue them even though we all suspected that it was a trap. And what did you get out of your trouble? You got shot up, and they're just as dead as they would have been if we had ignored them. What do you have to say for yourself?
Every life is precious to the green. I've made a vow a long time ago to protect it.
It's a wonder your vows haven't gotten you killed. But it's not for me to decide on who lives and who dies unless they pay me enough. Now, I want you to think about what happened, And I want you to think about that the next time you decide to act on principle, because the next time you may not survive. That's all I have to say.
A man is nothing without his principles.
Warlock turns to Willow. I've spoke my piece with him. Whether he takes it to heart or makes the full decision again is up to him. But I would suggest, if you want to collaborate with him, that you remind him the importance of following the plan. He looks over to you, Sin. Do you react?
Sin is just... You know what? Warlock's gonna notice Sin's very happy.
I see. Do yourself and the rest of us a favor and make sure that you don't take too much pleasure from killing.
I
It's a
don't
dark
take pleasure in killing innocents. I take pleasure in killing these fuckers.
Innocent, guilty. Does it really matter?
Well, yes. One takes from the innocent, the other one merely has to accept it.
No one is innocent in the wastelands. There are only survivors. And there are only those that are weak and those who are strong. Just don't lose your ability to make that distinction. Otherwise, how are we to know that you don't see me as guilty? Because I know I'm not a good man.
As long as you're not a raider, and as long as you don't take from the weak.
I am stronger than most. It's how I've survived.
Do you
What do
prey
you
on the
do?
innocent? Or prey on the ones that do not ask for a fight?
No one's paid me to kill you. It's not worth the ammunition or the effort, and it's not worth the risk.
Then you are innocent. For now. And she's gonna walk away and make a perception check for me.
I would be happy to. Nothing.
As Sin walks away and you turn around, the only thing you're gonna hear is scuffing. Like something's being dragged.
The Warlock turns his attention to Willow. What do you think? I'm just curious. You are a healer, and healers are few and far between. If you have your own adolescent opinion of what I do, I'd like to hear it now before we move forward.
She'll kind of like cock her head. Like you said, I'm just a healer. I'm here to help anyone that's after everything. I'm not much of a fighter. I don't know you either. Who is one to judge? So far, you seem like a nice guy.
Don't get it twisted. I'm not a good man, but I appreciate the gesture. I will take that into consideration. You definitely strike me as the smartest amongst them. Now then, Warlock looks over into the clearing where he sees Migo and Clems and two young men that seem to have no business being in this situation whatsoever. It would probably be smart of us to not interact with him. We got an up-armored choir boy out there. They may not appreciate what we are. Meanwhile, we go over to Migo and Clem. Migo, you have a minor injury, and the second column of pilgrims that attempted to ambush you are now in full rout. What do you do? What do the two of you do?
I'm gonna check on my charge's injury and whistle for dog.
The dog does come up to you with a measure of enthusiasm. He looks at you, wagging his tail, as he is genuinely fond every time you call out to him.
Good boy, dog. Are they all gone? Seek them out. Sniff them up. We'll work on your English later. How you feeling, boy? Metal boy? Holy boy?
Nothing but a
Migo.
scratch. Barely, if that. When in reality, I have a full-on bullet lodged into my fucking rib cage.
Clems,
Well,
you
go ahead and
see
let me see
blood
this.
seeping out of his side.
We're gonna have to crack you open, son. Can I call you son? I'm just gonna call you son.
I will be fine.
Now, unfortunately, I would believe that if I didn't have to make money off of your flesh.
And if I believe you
So-
even had the capacity to lift one of my gauntlets off the ground, I would take you up on the offer of removing my armor.
I could pop the clutches. I don't know what the fuck you call them, things that hold your armor together.
Meanwhile, Vaclav and Niklas will come up. Niklas has his scrap metal short sword bloodied, as he had clearly gotten engaged in the fight, whereas Vaclav is clearly winded as he's doubled over. Oh my lord, this got messy real fast, real fast. Holy.
You want to pop a squat there, kid? I see it takes a lot of effort, energy to run like a fucking coward.
I did not run from the fight. I just didn't go to it at all. I don't fight. I take things that people don't miss, and I occasionally take apart things that could be sold. Well, enough. You look like you need a hand. You said you needed to help removing his armor. I could help you out with that.
Yeah, but he being kind of a baby about it.
I will be fine.
And like I said, son, your life is my script. Now we can bicker about this until the cows come home.
At no point was my life ever in danger.
Does your church believe in infection?
Huh?
Your church, does it believe in the existence of infection?
I'm not sure what you're asking of
Infected
me.
wounds, sepsis.
Weakness of the body?
So what you have is an open wound. And in that open wound, you're going to get germs. And quite frankly, I don't want you to die because you're worth more than me alive. So we're going to help you take off your armor, and we're going to patch you up. He's going to hold up his hands.
Migo's going to just continue to scour the battlefield for any clues, completely ignoring the old man.
Okay. So, Clems, you do get the idea that he clearly doesn't want to have any form of treatment, and he is a lot larger and bigger than you are, and he's clearly not paying attention. Migo, I want you to roll me a 1d20, and because you're not familiar with how these guys operate, because they blatantly disregard Vatican protocol, you're not going to be able to rely on your inherent knowledge to help you. So this will be a higher difficulty. I'll call it a straight 1d20, difficulty of 15.
13. Damn.
Devil's Bargain. Devil's Bargain.
Mhm.
Option 1. You will find a trail, but you will also spot something in the north tree line. Option 2. It will take you more time. It will take you a lot longer to finally get a lead on where they went, but your wound will begin to get infected, and I will start a clock. Once that clock comes to an end, you sustain a serious injury and will be debuffed for certain physical interactions. Choose to fail, you find nothing. Make your choice.
The first one was there's something in the tree line.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
The contract is sealed. Devil's bargain has been negotiated. Willow and everyone in Willow's group, I need you to all roll me either a straight 1d20, or if you guys choose, give me a very detailed explanation on what you do to remain hidden from the group out in the clearing. Or, if you really want to, declare yourself known to this person. What do you guys want to do?
Okay, so I'm gonna have a really quick question. Did
Right on.
Willow see that the man was trying to help the other man?
He did notice that Clems was trying to help Migo. Yes. And Migo vehemently refused help.
And we saw that they were also trying to kill the pilgrims?
Yes, absolutely. You also see that Migo is wearing the insignia of the Holy Order of Saint Ignatius, a group that is tasked by the Vatican, a major faction in this world, to do one thing and one thing only: to execute the Vatican's mission in the wastelands with extreme prejudice. They're very, very dangerous.
Willow's making herself known.
Sin, are you making yourself known? Are you hiding, or are you going to just roll one straight 1d20?
Oh, she isn't really trying to hide right now. She's collecting hearts.
Tharion, you're
Can I?
still going unconscious, so you're not part of this. Warlock's gonna stay behind. Yes, Clem?
I thought I was still in consciousness because I had an interaction between him and Sin. But if I'm unconscious, that's fine.
You fall back into unconsciousness.
Okay, that's fine.
Can I describe how Dog is with ladies?
By all means.
Dog is, to put it, for lack of other words, Dog is a shameless flirt. The second these ladies roll up on us, he is over there. He is wagging his tail. He's wagging his tail so hard his butt is wagging. And then he's doing that thing where he just flops over on his side and on his back and waves all 4 feet in the air and wiggles around and whines and whines and whines and whines.
Willow, Sin, you guys see this dog out of nowhere. Wholesome wildlife in the wastelands is rare, let alone a domesticated dog. And this dog's being very, very cute.
He's got a collar that says Dog on it.
Willow is absolutely going to give him the ultimate belly rubs, telling him that he is an ultra good boy.
Migo, you witness these two coming out of the north tree line. What's your reaction?
Migo is just gonna kind of stay where he's at and confirm whether or not, this is about to be another attempt at heresy, or if he's, if these are just some people that he happened to save.
Sviatokor, you are sore. You literally just got launched against a tree trying to hold Tharion down when Willow was trying to save his life, but you were only suffering a minor injury. Do you hide? Do you make yourself known to this huge man decked out in armor and go out with Willow and Sin? Or do you remain hidden?
I'm a little bit curious, and I think I know that those two can handle themselves. I'm just gonna work at staying hidden.
I'm not even going to make you roll for it, considering that Willow and Sin have Migo and the rest of the others full attention. The Warlock will get down next to you, and he will start to sniff. I don't suppose you have the opportunity to take a bath every once in a while out here, do you?
Well, because it is just me, that is kind of low on my priority list.
There. Still, a little bit of personal hygiene wouldn't hurt you. Just a recommendation.
Well, your recommendation has been duly noted.
Meanwhile, Willow, Sten, Migo, what do you guys do? Migo?
Migo is going to start to approach Willow, who I assume is the first one out into the field.
Yes.
And once I, get within, I'd say at least a body length. What are you doing out here?
I would like to clarify that both my hands are up at this point. She's like, yeah, civilian, don't hurt me.
Real quick, Willow, are you still like next to Tharion?
No.
No,
No, okay. I just wanted to make sure because of something with Migo,
You're
but
next.
that's all right.
You're next to Saviaticor and Warlock, still in the north tree line, staying hidden. Go ahead, Willow. Migo.
her hands are gesturing in the way of I am disarmed. I was just checking in. Are you guys okay?
We're fine. In no point. You can blatantly see the blood dripping off of my rib cage.
I'm a healer. Do you need help?
I have no use for your pre-war medications.
You would be shocked on what I might be able to do for you. Can I at least see it? I'd hate for you to get an infection, which can be life-altering and kill you if it gets bad enough.
What is everyone about on this infection nonsense?
Would you rather be dead? I would assume that God has a plan for you.
And being taken out by some
An
random
infection.
force.
An infection would not be a part of God's plan.
Make a persuasion check.
I'll give you. Can I make an argument, Migo? She gets a +2.
Oh yeah.
+2.
Is it because she's pretty?
Maybe.
Migo is going to turn and look at Clem.
Clem is very busily side-eyeing the fuck out of Sin.
Migo's gonna kind of like look side to side, and he's gonna walk over into the tree line. And I'm going to start slowly unclasping my chest plate.
Do you need help?
As much as I'm sure you're willing to offer it, you could not possibly lift my armor.
No, goodness no. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that armor would flatten me.
Meanwhile, you see two other young men, one with a large, brawny gentleman with brown hair, and another more scrawnier, dark-haired person, Vaclav, approach. What do you know? It's hello. Vaclav addresses you, Willow. Well, what are you doing? I just you don't see this very often in the wastelands. I am Vaclav, and this is my best friend Nicholas. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, eh?
Hello.
Well, help her out. Oh, yes. If you need help, we can help you take off that thing you call armor, more like a metal skin. Word. How do you walk around in such thing? Let me guess. God sustains your strength, yes?
You're going to walk away and act like you've never even so much as seen a buckle of this armor undone.
Nick immediately grabs Vaclav by the back of his collar. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Hey, he looks over to you, Willow, and says, "It's nice to meet you." Nicholas
You need to
slaps
Hi.
stop
Val in the
eye
back of the head.
fucking that young lady.
Could anyone blame me? Let's go, Val. Okay, okay, okay. And Nicholas drags Val away.
She's just gonna like
Continue.
giggle shortly and then look back to Migo. I'm assuming
Uh,
at this point breastplate's off.
yeah, I was kind of like holding my breastplate on, like I was just hiding my titties. But yeah, I'm going to eventually strip it off and set it as delicately onto the ground as I can.
She's gonna walk over to you. Before I touch, may I touch you?
That's why we're here, isn't it?
Yes, I'm just making sure. And the moment that she starts to inspect, she's gonna realize that it's fairly fucking deep. And then, like, under her breath, I'm sorry, Father. And then she's gonna place her hand, like, directly on the wounds. And she is going to use her ability.
All right, this is gonna be tough. Migo is a member of the Holy Order of Saint Ignatius. His armor has a unique ability to disrupt powers that come from the rupture's influence. You can attempt this, but I will warn you, it will not be easy. Are you sure you still want to do this? Yes, Migo?
I just want to clarify that my armor is technically on the floor and not in one piece.
I'll reduce the difficulty then. You still want to do this.
I'm sure it's fine.
One, you are a skilled healer. You're using that ability that the caller taught you how to use. But and his armor is off, so his negation effect for powers coming from the influence of the rupture will be reduced. You get a +4 modifier to your roll and a difficulty of 12. Roll the die.
13.
It's tough. You realize immediately that something about his armor is causing a measure of resistance, kind of like trying to pump electricity through a resistor. It's a little bit trickier and it takes a little more time, but eventually you witness as the wound closes and becomes as good as new. Ego, you witness this happen. What's your reaction?
The moment that I see any mystical energy radiating from your hand, my hand is going to come down and around your like forearm, and I'm going to peel it away from me. What are you, a witch?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just
Can I step in for a second? I'm sorry, guys. Is it okay if I step in for a second?
Go ahead.
Sure.
So when Clems sees Migo grab her by her arm in his gigantic man hand, Clems is gonna smack him upside his head. You don't go grabbing ladies like that, young man. Fuck is wrong with you? You got a stick arm in your big fat meat hand.
And she is lucky she gets to keep it. What was that?
at this point she's probably realized that she may have made a mistake. I just want to help.
You got some kind of holy power, young lady.
You could say that I was sent by God.
What's your reaction, Migo?
Migo is going to kind of stare at Willow, and I mean like stare for a moment, but then he's going to kind of do some quick maths. That's MAFF, just so you know. Some quick maths in his head. Armor resists rupture influence.
Does?
lady was able to use some form of magic on the bullet in my rib.
She did.
So resistance plus magic equals not rupture. And Migo is going to just suddenly just release and drop to one knee.
Are you okay? I don't think I did anything wrong. She's gonna be doing her own math. She doesn't understand why.
I'm gonna add a little bit of detail to this. As
Go
soon
ahead,
as he
Sin.
drops to his knee, you're just gonna see Sin standing behind him with her sword drawn, ready to stab him.
She's going to step in front of Sin.
Sin's
What,
gonna
he was
get
holding
a
her-
lot more uncomfortable side-eyeing from Clems.
What? He was holding my sister hostage. I don't allow that shit.
I'm sure he didn't know, okay?
You just look a little
I-
familiar to me, young lady.
Was unaware that I was in the presence of a saint.
For a moment, her head's gonna go, huh? Like, you. If there was anyone else in this group that would see her face, she would be like, the hell is a saint?
I was gonna
And then
say,
she,
Sin's
like-
gonna look right at Willow and like, huh?
And then she's gonna, like, fix herself up. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm a saint. I'm just trying to help protect the people and those in it.
As a saint of healing would. I apologize for my transgressions.
Meanwhile, we cut over to Warlock, Sviatogor, and Tharion. You see Warlock go over to Sviatogor. He whispers and crawls over to him. We probably need to get out of here. Fall back and regroup outside this place after this passes. I don't trust this man. What are your thoughts?
Well, Did the big one just bend the knee to the little one?
Looks like
And
it.
Svatogor is pointing over at Migo and Willow.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's fishy to me, though. I don't trust him. He's with those Vatican types, let alone the Order of St. Ignatius. And those guys are ferocious in a fight. Even I don't think I could go toe-to-toe with one of them. We should probably clear out of this while we can.
As much as I hate to be abandoning new friends, I do believe that you are right.
We get Tharion back to the gas station while they tend to him. Wait till he recovers, and then we'll try to link back up with them after the armored choir boy moves on.
It sounds like a good idea. Come, help me with him.
Between the two of you, it doesn't take much effort to pull Tharion out. And because Willow, Clems, and Sin are wrapped up with their interactions, Svatikor, Warlock, and Tharion manage to get a fair distance away from them, about halfway back towards the gas station. And by that time, Tharion, you return to consciousness. You're in a lot of pain, but you are stabilized. It'll take you a day's worth of rest before you can fully heal from this. What do you do?
As they're dragging me, I'm gonna like slowly kind of open my eyes. If it's gonna be a bit of a haze at first, and I'm guessing they're dragging me like I'm behind them and they're in front of me. I'm just gonna be like, oh, where am I? I'm gonna like turn my head and look at my. I mean, I guess I would see Spiatogor as a friend. I mean, I buy mushrooms for him for
Yes.
like food and medicines all the time.
Oh,
And I'm gonna
fine
call them out. Call
shapeshifter,
his
you
name.
are awake.
So we have to go. Where are we? Where are we at?
We are on our way back to the gas station.
How long have I been out?
How long have we been going for? Well, you kind of went out of commission right at the very beginning of the battle. A little embarrassing, if you ask me.
You've been unconscious for
Thanks.
about 45 minutes.
Where are we going?
Like I said, we are going back to the gas station.
Right.
Can you walk at all? Any assistance rather than trying to drag a dead body would be very helpful.
Jason, would I be able to make an action?
You can get up on your feet, but your breathing is extremely labored, as you did suffer a punctured lung from your previous encounter. But I will say that you are stable for now. But walking and excruciating activities will not risk aggravating your injury, but anything strenuous will. So yeah, you can get up and walk.
Okay, so no shapeshifting. Okay, dang. Yeah, I'll get up and kind of lean against Sviatogor. I can walk, just not too fast. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. You suffer a very traumatic injury.
The green will provide, old friend.
Yes, as you always say.
I'll give you this, Tharion, if you're feeling risky. Shapeshifting with a serious injury is a high risk, high reward. You can attempt to shapeshift with your injury and even completely negate it, but it'll be a very, very high difficulty roll. Or you can simply remain stable for a day and you will heal naturally.
That I have something, but it's considered strenuous, so I can't do it, and I don't want to risk it.
Duly noted. All right. Warlock remains silent as he starts to head back to the gas station. You guys head on back. I'm going to try to see if I can send a message to Willow and the others that where we're going to be, so they don't think we just left them. You need to be stabilized. You need to recover. The others may need my help. Do you have this, Sviatogor?
Yes, go. You can count on me.
Very well. The Warlock begins to make his way back towards Willow and Sin. Meanwhile, Willow, Sin, Clems, and Migo. Migo, you have a trail to the Pilgrims. What you got from that roll indicates that they are indeed marching in a very tight column. These men exercise a significant level of discipline and even a slight measure of decorum in how they move. And you realize immediately that marching in the columns such as this is a tactic to obscure their numbers, because if they were to move and spread out, they would be able to determine their exact numbers easily. But by moving in a single column, it's much harder. It also makes it very easy to distinguish their trail and who you're trailing. And because they're weighed down with an equipment belt and rifles and ammo and the iron capirotes, their tracks are much deeper than traditional survivors in the wastelands. Occasionally, too, you'll even see droplets of blood, indicating that some of these men that escaped and were routed were injured. But before you take to the trail, Is there anything you want to do within the remains of this battlefield?
I have my new priority as of this moment is this saint. Because I can't go chasing after the pilgrims and then risk losing a saint for the church, let alone one that is undiscovered.
It is on the record. Willow, do you share your knowledge about the current trail that you picked up with the pilgrims with Willow and the Clem and the others?
Yes. While Willow is finishing yoinking the bullet out of my rib, Migo is going to explain what his discoveries was.
Meanwhile, Sin, what are you doing as Willow is healing Migo and discussing the trail that they left off?
Do you say I've already collected the hearts, or do you want me to do it now?
Describe to me how this goes down and spare us no details, and I will not apologize for those of weak stomach. This is a grim, dark world for a reason.
So as that entire interaction before the she got her arm grabbed, Willow got her arm grabbed. Willow had taken all 15 of the bodies and dragged them into decently high grass, knowing that Willow doesn't really like seeing what she does. Sin is going to take out her sword and start cutting from the belly to the rib cage for each of these guys and breaking open the rib cage to take the hearts from inside them.
Cold-blooded. I love it. Very important question before we continue, and I stress very important question. Do you attempt to remove their iron caparotes around their head?
She thought about it, but she's just, they're already dead. Why matter? I'm just taking their hearts anyway.
Very good, very good, very good. Clems, what are you doing as this is all going down?
He's literally just staring at Sid. In like a disgruntled way, but not like a horrified way.
Ooh, I forgot to add one more detail. She is very happily humming to herself with a wide smile.
He's just watching her, just staring. Making it weird.
Meanwhile, Niklas and Vaclav are already going through the remains of the bodies, scavenging their weapons and the ammunition, as well as anything else they think they can salvage. Vaclav is going to attempt to remove one of their iron caparotes just out of curiosity. Does anybody try to stop him? I will take that as a no. Very good, very good. Nick, why do you think they wear these strange things? They don't look very practical. They look heavy. Imagine, it's like somebody sent them to the timeout corner and decided those strange dunce hats were too light. Wondered what they got hidden. Maybe it's something valuable. As Niklas gives him a file to cut out the hinges on the caparote, and immediately after it breaks off, he lifts the caparote open, and what happens? Vaclav's face goes completely pale, and you see that he's swallowing a lump has a lump in his throat mid-swallow, as what he sees is horrific. These caparotes have very thin spikes inside of them, very thin, long enough to cause superficial punctures on the head. They're basically like Iron Maidens you wear around your head. These men, and what's even more particular is the point of punctures shows burn marks, very specific third-degree burns, indicating that something that they did to get these capirotes onto their head involved it searing the edges of these needles so that they not only puncture the superficial layer of the skin but burn upon contact. It becomes very clear to Vaclav and to everybody who witnesses this that these capirotes are designed to keep the wearers in a consistent amount of pain. My God. What is this? I don't know. This is some sick stuff. Who would do this? And these crosses that are seared into the sternums. You see this too, Nick. Yeah. It's literally grafted into their sternums. If you look around the edges, it's burned like it was seared. Who are these crazy bastards? Oh no, but we're into something, Nick. They look over to you, Sin, and then they immediately. I'm going to make a roll for Niklas to see if he vomits at the sight of Sin cutting open these guys.
And when he made the comment of the cross in the middle of their sternum, she's going to yell out, well, not really yell out, but loud enough for them to hear, yeah, it really makes a pain in the ass trying to cut them open.
The moment you say that, Niklas gulps back what would be a vomit, but then Niklas just pats my... Easy does it, Val. I'll be fine, maybe we ought to just call it quits and give the others their share. I don't think the big man wants the guns. These guns will go for a good price back in the city. I know, but taking from these men, doesn't this feel wrong? They tried to kill the people that we were following. There's just better armed raiders as far as I'm concerned. I know, but come on, let's just take it. This alone will get us enough script to get us through the next couple of winters and then some. Immediately as that conversation is going down, you see the Warlock who approaches the group. Willow, you see him as he approaches, and he keeps his hands outward to indicate that he is non-threatening. I see you've made a new acquaintance, Willow.
Hi, Warlock.
Who is your new friend? Migo, you see a dark-skinned man with a hood pulled down. This man clearly shows visible signs of mutation as bright blue lights run down his hands where his veins are, up his neck and towards his eyes. And he carries a refurbished AK-74 assault rifle with a collapsible stock and a very strangely ornate and well-maintained short sword strapped at his hip. It looks very similar to an ancient Roman gladius. This man carries himself like someone who is raised to fight and can hold his own. What's your reaction, Migo?
Save your pleasantries. With the artifact that's dwelling with underneath your skin and your clear reliance on that piece of pre-war garbage, the only reason your presence around me is tolerated is simply because of the Saint.
Saint. Nice to meet you too. Willow.
Jason, I have a question.
Go ahead, Clems.
Since they're both outdoorsy boys, would Clems and the Warlock happen to know each other?
You know what? Sure, I'll give that to you. +2. Roll me a 1d20, please.
Well, I gotta
I'll
roll
make this-
for it and have to roll for this knowledge.
I'll make it easy. A difficulty of 8.
10.
You definitely know of the Warlock. The Warlock is regarded as one of the most accomplished caravan guards. He's the man that the trade committee from the leaders of the Coalition of Free Traders send on the missions that they need something done and they need somebody reliable. Also, somebody that's not going to let morals stop him from getting the job done, as the Warlock tends to take on dirty jobs sometimes, but he is known to be very good in a fight.
Warlock, and he's gonna offer his hand. I see you again, boy.
How goes hunting and roughing it out in the wilderness?
Oh, it ain't roughing if you're liking it, huh? How's the father?
He's fine. I had to get some medicine from the scientific authority to get him treated, as Ivor's not getting any younger. He had it pretty rough last winter. You do know, Clems, because you beat the difficulty, that Warlock's adoptive father is a man known as Ivar Mikhailson, who used to be a caravan guard as well, that took him in, the Warlock in when he was in the boarding house. And Ivar Mikhailson had a reputation for being very stern, straight to the point. He's the same age as you, Clems, but he was also a man who wasn't afraid of going out of his way of performing a kindness just for the sake of it. It was, for him, he would argue, it's the one way that a man who specializes in projecting violence maintains his humanity this day and age. The Warlock, unlike Ivar Mikhailson, is much more stoic and very soft-spoken.
Always liked your father. Good man, good man.
He is a good man. So what brings you out here with these people?
That big fucker right there. I thought that the Vatican raised their kids with respect for their elders and respect for the hardworking man, but I was wrong. He's gonna go back to staring weirdly at Sin.
Well, when they spend their days being taught that people like us are monsters, what do you expect?
I expect them to use some comments. And does she look familiar to you?
He looks over to Willow.
No,
Willow.
the other one in the dress.
He looks over to Sin. You know what? I'm going to make a roll.
Young lady in the dress, how old are you?
The Warlock just shakes his head. He doesn't know who Sin is.
Upon hearing Clems, she's gonna look back. Why?
I'm just curious. You look familiar, and I think I might know you. But I am aged, as they say. And I am just curious of your age.
I don't quite remember, but I believe I am in the 20th winters.
He's gonna squint at her real hard, and then just go back to side-eyeing her.
Roll me a 1d20, and I'll give you a +2 for this because you're being inquisitive, and I kind of like this. So
why am I rolling? Why is God telling me to roll 14?
You've heard rumors of a heavily mutated woman who lives out in the outskirts. Maybe a long time ago you've done business with the families. You've heard rumors of a woman who stays out in the wastelands, who carries a sword, but also exhibits very erratic and maybe even brutalistic behavior, especially against raiders. You also know that this individual is allegedly very good in a fight, but you don't know her name.
I just thought she looked familiar for my own personal memories.
Warlock will approach you, Willow. Tharion's pretty badly shot up. He'll need a day to stabilize. We have Savaticore taking him back to the gas station where we can let him rest for the time being. But there's still others, pilgrims out here. We didn't get all of them. What do you want to do?
I gotta take him, and he's gonna point at Migo, to kill the pilgrims, and then I get him back, and then I get money.
Funny you say that. Send this woman over here. He motions to Sin, offered me a portion of the loot from killing these bastards. Speaking of which, he immediately looks over to and glares daggers at Niklas and Vaclav as they're clearly looting the bodies of the pilgrims, as they're taking their rifles and their ammunition. I was offered a portion of that. Hey, I did not see you participating in the fight.
Boys, pay your taxes.
Okay, fine. Well, that guy, he's the Warlock. Yeah. Like, you mean that guy? The guy that the trade committee send out to do their dirty work? I prefer to think of it as necessary work, thank you. Now I'll have half of those rifles and half of the ammunition. Nick looks over to Val. He's like, nope, I'm not fighting that guy. Fine. Oh, man, we could have eaten well with this. Could have had a fight. Holy hearts. We're going to head back to the gas station, Willow, and look after Tharion. You coming with us?
I would assume that we do need to go and make sure that his wounds are okay. But someone really should keep an eye on those pilgrims.
That'll be us.
I tell you what, I'll go with the old man. What about you, choir boy? You coming with us?
I go where the saint goes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Last I need is for the unsavory types around here to whisk away with a gift from God himself.
Well, this unsavory type is going to do your job.
We do have a job to do, son.
Old man, or Clem, you want to come with me? I could use an extra gun, and there's plenty of ammunition here that we can take. These two doofuses will come with us. Did he just call us doofus? Shut up. Oh, right. Nick slaps Val in the back of the head. These two will come with us. We need somebody to carry all this stuff. We can't do it ourselves. You want to come with Clem?
Yeah, let's go. I don't think we're gonna get any use out of that boy while there's that lady around.
As Willow, Migo make their way back to Savaticore's gas station, it will be mid-afternoon by the time you get back. Warlock and Clems, Vaclav and Niklas will pick up the trail. Sin, do you go with Willow and Migo back to the gas station, or do you go with Warlock and Clem to pick up the Pilgrim's Trail?
Sin is actually going to call it to Willow. Hey, Willow, do you want some company, or should I go with them?
I would assume that you're probably going with them, but up to you.
The caller
I
did
got what I want
task
for
the
now.
both of you with dealing with the Pilgrims. Go ahead, Sin.
Let's recuperate supplies and get some rest. So I'm coming with you.
Duly noted.
As time passes, Tharion Sviatikor, you return to the gas station, and it is currently just the two of you. The gas station is the hideout where Sviatikor does his research on his various different mushrooms. He keeps those that he cultivates. On the outside, you see some of the samples that grow around it. Various different mushrooms that pulsate. They glow with a purplish hue. While you were there, what did the two of you guys do, Tharion?
I'm going to ask Sviatogor to lay me on the ground. And I'll say, old friend, if you could just lay me in the dirt. On the dirt.
Shapeshifter friend, are you sure that you would not be more comfortable on a bed?
There's something I must do first.
Oh, okay, but if you're still here in half an hour, then I come get you and put you in bed. And then Sviatogor is gonna like lay him out in front of the garage, the open air garage, and then he's just gonna go have a seat in the garage.
Before he walks inside, I'll say, I do need one more thing from you, my friend. If you could just bring me one of those mushrooms.
Which mushroom?
Any of
Like
them.
which mushroom? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll bring you mushroom. And I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna get one of the brown mushrooms that Willow made the stew out of in the morning, and I'm gonna go and bring him that mushroom.
Alrighty. I need to make a couple dice rolls real quick.
By all means.
1, 0. Okay. What was that?
1.
It's a severe 15. The Tharion is going to take this mushroom and he's going to close his eyes and steady his breathing. And he's going to say very softly, take what was taken. Return what was stolen. Let the cycle hold. Zuleth Nakar. Ven Shazul. For the listeners, that means in Varzul, the language that Tharion speaks, the green gives and remembers. And with that, what was the one for? What did I tie that to? Let me see. His severe wound. This is a healing thing. There is still a punishment for it. And that's what the dice roll rolls. I have severe fatigue, so I'm gonna go unconscious again. But the major wound turns into a minor wound now. It's not a full heal. To do a
I'm
full
aware.
heal, I'd have to really strain myself and risk exposing something that the listeners are going to have to subscribe and continue listening to witness. Wink, wink. Hint, hint.
Yep, very good. I am looking at your notes. Very good. As Sviatikor, as you see, you poke out about another couple moments later, you see that Tharion is now completely unconscious again. He lays on the ground.
I will also say, Sviatogor, do you have a keen sense of smell at all? Like somewhat above the human?
I don't think so. That wouldn't be a mushroom-related mutation, so no.
Okay. Well, then you smell a very, very faint smell of rain. And the mushroom that was in my hand has withered. It is dead.
That was quite a shame, but I think it is going to rain. Hello, Tharion, are you awake? Hello?
He is not awake. as he is now unconscious yet again.
Well, I am not one to leave somebody out in the rain. Let's get you inside. And
It
he'll
is
drag Tharion inside the gas station and put him up on his own bed.
all right. Now have Tharion unconscious, recovering from the injury. You are now alone in the gas station and will be for until Willow, Migo arrive. And Sin. What do you do? Stefaticor?
Oh, I thought that you had said Tharion. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna putter around, do some research. Oh, I do. I think I have mushrooms that I can process for researching. Let's see.
As he's doing that, what roughly time do you say it is right now?
About mid-afternoon, roughly. You, Willow, and Migo are still on your way back to the gas station.
Yeah, no, I do not have any mushrooms, so I'm gonna go on a mushroom hunting expo.
Okay. How much time do you spend, Sviaticor, looking for samples for your research? And how far away from your gas station do you go? Very important questions.
Probably only a couple miles in each direction because I'd be coming back frequently to check on Tharion.
Very well. With that, you will it will be a higher difficulty because all of the areas around the gas station you pretty much picked clean. So what I will allow is the immediate area around the gas station. You will keep your modifiers. You're an expert in the mushrooms and research. You are familiar with this area. I'll give you a +4 check to this, but to find usable samples, I will make this a base difficulty of 15. If you roll 15 through 17, you get 1 sample. If you roll an 18 or higher, you will find 2 samples.
Oh, natural 1, total of 5.
You find absolutely nothing.
Well, they have to look.
Meanwhile, we cut over to Migo, Sin, and Willow. You guys arrive to the gas station. Migo, you've never seen this place before, and it's very strange. It has the appearance of a pre-war building with these strange devices that once were gasoline dispensers. But what's strange is there are these strange purple mushrooms that are being cultivated outside that are glow with a purplish blue hue, and upon closer inspection they pulsate like organs. You have arrived at Sviaticor's hideout. What do you guys do?
A very strange company you keep.
Willow's gonna knock on the door.
Nobody answers.
Is the garage door open? Like last time?
Yes, it is always open, unless Sviatogor is purposefully closing it.
Then she's probably going to say, well, I guess we could always set up camp again in the garage.
I mean, last time it worked. Might as well.
Alright. Is there anything that you guys do while at the gas station? Any interactions that you guys make before I cut over to the other group?
Yeah. Migo's going to go around and all over the gas station, spreading his incense. If I'm going to be hanging out in something pre-war, I'm at least going to bless it.
It's very strange as you go around this gas station. It's not a very large building by any measure, but inside you notice something that looks very similar to laboratory equipment. Whoever maintains this place clearly repurposed it to serve as a research station for some kind of a study. And you do notice particularly the cultivation tanks where they keep various different mushroom samples.
Ah, so they're playing God. Got it.
That is what Migo assumes to be the case. Is there anything else you guys do? Last call. All right. We cut over to Warlock, Clems, and Niklas and Vaclav, who are taking up the rear with their hand-drawn cart. You follow the trail that the surviving pilgrims have made further southwest, and along the way, Warlock is mostly quiet until he brings up a topic that Clems has a name that Clems hasn't heard in a very long time. You know, I still remember the days before Ivar took me in. I don't miss the times in that place, the boarding house. But I remember Oksana came in about the same time as me. Have you tried reaching out to her since you left her there?
All Warlock is going to see at first is Clem's head slowly turning in his direction.
I suppose I've never told you before, but me and her are about the same age. If it wasn't for arrangements that were made for Oksana, she might have been up for adoption, but as you know, Madame Miljeka charges a steeper price for the girls.
What the fuck did you say to me, young man?
I'm speaking plainly to you as one per man to another. I figured you would want to know.
I am, very, very, sure that I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And maybe young men shouldn't be talking about shit they don't know nothing about.
You think that Ivar hasn't told me that you left your own daughter in the boarding house? I don't judge you for what you did. I imagine you had your reasons.
The moment he says left your daughter in the boarding house, the butt of his gun is gonna come out to just peg Warlock right in the gut. I'm not trying to like actually damage him. I would just like to wind him. So
We were
tell me
going
what
to
I have to roll.
We're gonna make this contested. The Warlock's tough when it comes to a fight, so this will be a little bit trickier, but I tell you what I will do. I'll give you a +4 because he's not anticipating this strike, but the Warlock will also get a +4 because he is very good in fighting hand-to-hand combat.
Roll your
So,
bones.
yes, let's.
23, bitch.
Warlock's fast, but Clems has the element of surprise as the Warlock is not expecting him to flash out. You hit him with the butt of your rifle against his stomach, and it does knock the breath out of him as he winces over. And there's not a single ounce of animosity, or you don't sense that he begrudges you in the least. He simply takes it, nods as he clutches his stomach. You notice something else too, that once you hit him in the stomach, a light blue light glowed in the area where you struck him. Clems has been around long enough to know this is one of the effects of Warlock's artifact, the Midas Hand. It is an artifact that creates somewhat of a physical shield that makes him significantly resistant to external physical damage, meaning that it could have hurt a lot worse than what it did. For an old man, you pretty tough.
For a man that's been around for a while, you're pretty fucking stupid. So just remember what I said. You shouldn't say shit about shit you don't fucking know about. We have an understanding?
Fair enough. We do. I just figured you'd want to know. We have work
Don't know
to
what
do.
you're talking about, son. And you're just gonna keep walking.
Meanwhile, Vaclav is looking over at Niklas and mouthing the words, "What was that about?" And Niklas just, who cares? It's not matter to us. As you guys continue the journey, it is starting to get towards dusk, and it will be dark soon. I want Clems to make a roll. You are a hunter and a tracker, and you are familiar with the wilderness. You also were given a solid trail to follow. I'm going to give you a +6 to this with all those things taken into account. The Warlock will only get a straight 1d20, and so will the others. Okay,
24.
let me make the other 2 rolls. Okay, and Niklas is too busy trying to keep Vakla from talking about what he just witnessed when he removed the iron cap rope from one of the dead pilgrims. And upon the trail, Clems will notice something. You get past a wooded area leading further to the southwest. Through this area of old Poland, there are very, very few ruins. Most of this area is abandoned grasslands and open plains, with the occasional wooded area. There are occasionally a few rural roads, but many of them have fallen into disrepair and vegetation has taken over. And occasionally you find some abandoned homes that serve as not a complete shelter, but a temporary shelter. What you do notice, however, is that there is an open clearing further in the distance where you see something. Smoke. Not a lot of smoke, but enough smoke to indicate there's a camp nearby. Raiders don't usually come this far out to the southwest, as there's no homesteads out here, and there's no significant bodies of water to draw water from. It only mean one thing, and the Warlock picks up on it too. Their camp is close. We should plan out our next move carefully before we proceed further. What are your thoughts, old man?
I imagine we can get a good old sneak on them, belly crawl through some foliage until we can get a head count.
Your dog,
See how many survive, see how many is left. What about dog?
will he be able to be quiet and not draw any attention to us?
You're acting like you're acting like he's a fresh, untrained pup.
No, but he is an animal, and animals tend to make noises just like any normal thinking person.
Young man, this dog helps me hunt. I taught him how to play blackjack. I reckon I did a pretty good job teaching him how to be quiet during a trap.
Blackjack. Have you seen
Dog is
one?
just looking at the Warlock like, the fuck did you say it about me?
The dog kind of tilts his head, lets out this like inquisitive look, and the Warlock just shakes his head. Never mind. Did I ask? Yeah, we get close, we figure out what we're up against, and if we need to, we'll wait for the others before we make a move. Let's just not draw any attention to ourselves. Those guys look like they knew what they were doing when they're clever enough to set up that ambush. Probably clever enough to anticipate trouble. Do you want to wait for nightfall, or do you want to see if we can get him before dusk?
That roll was to determine if I knew the area, right?
It was also to see if you could find signs of where their camp would be.
Well, I know that there's some good game trails eking off into the woods. We can creep along those and then creep through the leaves and shit until we can get close enough for a head count. I'd send dog, but he ain't that good at counting.
The Warlock still is distracted for a moment, wondering how a dog could learn to play any card game, and then immediately his attention goes back to task at hand, and then immediately you see Aklev approach. Did I hear that you guys are planning on doing something sneaky? I didn't think you were a part of this. Listen, hear me out. Serious talk. I happen to have a knack for not being seen when I want to be. Long story. I will not get into it. Bring me with you. I might be able to help you. Then suddenly Nick, he has a point. We met each other when he tried to pick my pocket years ago, and I happened to teach him manners. That it's not wise to stick your hand in certain people's pockets.
He's gonna glance at the Warlock and glance at the two dudes and just be like, I'm having a hard time believing you're going to keep your mouth shut, but we're gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. However, if you give us away, I'm taking one of your fingers.
What are you gonna do with the finger? It's no good
Teach
if
you a
it's not
lesson?
attached. Scary old man. I need my fingers. I do a lot of things with my fingers. Is it possible that we could work some other deal out? Nick, or Val, just listen to the man and don't get us in any trouble. All right.
Yeah, if you need your fingers, I'm gonna need you to be sneaky.
I have this. Trust me. You notice that Val actually pulls out something from his pack, and it's a shawl that he puts over his face that is of significantly dark colors. And he actually pulls out several other items. He pulls out a unique soul that he has in his pack as well. One that is very uniquely shaped and made of a material that actually makes his footfalls quieter. The Warlock picks up on it immediately as he begins to realize that Vaklev is actually, or maybe at one time, a professional thief. Only
So, does
some...
anybody remember? I'm so sorry, Jason. I'm so sorry.
What?
But does anybody remember those old infomercials for the moon shoes? Because
I
that's what
do.
I'm thinking of right now.
I do remember.
Hard to make noise when your feet are trampolines.
Lest they can hear us. If we're going to sneak up on them, keep an eye out for any dry twigs or any dead foliage. It's fall, which means that there's probably going to be dry leaves. Stick to the moist path where there's more mud. He will make less sound that way. And if need be, I could make suitable distraction. Find some rocks and distract their attention away from you so that we can get a better closer look. Now, follow me. Niklas will stay behind and watch after the cart and all of their stores as you guys begin to approach, as dusk begins to settle. You notice that Vaklev is approaching from the angle of their potential camp away from the sunset in a very specific distance. It becomes apparent to Warlock that he's doing this intentionally because he's approaching from the angle where it's less light, and he sticks to the shadows as something who is very well practiced in avoiding detection. I need Clems, because he is a tracker and competent in the wilderness, to roll me a +4. Vaklev will get a +4 to this check as well, and the Warlock... Yes.
Natural one. Natural one. I got a 5.
Okay. Let me make a few other rolls. for the
Devil's
Warlock.
bargain?
I will get to that, please. Let me finish. Thank you.
Okay.
You approach the camp, all of you, and Backliff carries himself very well. In it becomes very apparent that he is very well practiced in moving in darkness. You don't even notice that he's there when he starts to drift off. You don't even hear his footsteps. Suddenly, the Warlock and you are making move towards the camp. The Devil's Bargain. Clems, your first option. You remain undetected, but you're separated from everybody else. In option 2, you remain undetected, but you get hung up in a briar patch. And I will make a roll to determine how serious it is. If it's high enough, you will sustain a minor injury. If it's minor, you will have to negotiate being stuck in briars. Choose to fail, you're spotted, and I will make a roll to determine how many pilgrims will open fire on you. Make your choice.
When you say I am separated, does that mean I also lose track of where the pilgrims are?
You know where their camp is, but you will not be able to spot if there are any external patrols, which means you could run into a patrol of pilgrims alone.
Let's go with 1.
I will ask this question only once. Is this your final answer?
Yes.
Contract is sealed. The Devil's Bargain has been negotiated. Because it is getting darker, you begin to lose track of where everyone is. And you immediately begin to realize that you are separated from the others, and you are alone in the woods. Do you call out to the others?
No, I'm going to take a very circuitous trail towards where I saw the pilgrims fire.
The Warlock will accept a Devil's Bargain as well. And I will leave his fate and the conditions of his Devil's Bargain discreet for the time being. But I will say this, you will not have his support for a certain number of turns. And because Baklov lost the contested role, he will also accept a Devil's Bargain, which will, the nature of his Devil's Bargain will remain discreet. But let's just say that you will receive no support from him. You are running solo.
Fucking kids.
There are a lot of pilgrim patrols around here. You see at least 6 squads of about 4 men patrolling the outer perimeters of this camp. And they move in single file columns. This is the same thing that Migo picked up on earlier. It is to mask their exact numbers, so that anyone who attempts to follow their trail will assume that it's only 1 or 2 of them. But you are a skilled tracker, and you notice that their imprints they leave in the ground are much deeper than a normal average person, as they carry more equipment, and their iron capirotes are very heavy. But you do, however, thanks to a degree of luck, manage to avoid detection, but you are separated from the others. You reach about 1,000 yards away from the main camp, and what you see is this. There are 2 crudely erected watchtowers, with one of the pilgrims on the top of it, armed with what appears to be a light machine gun, a 30 millimeter pre-war light machine gun. You also see in the middle of the camp what look like positioned mortars that are dug in. As far as soldier count goes, you know there are at least a minimum of 50 pilgrims posted here. And they are all armed mostly with bolt-action rifles with fixed bayonets. They have, in the middle of the camp, a very large thrash tent, a pre-war, that they use as their command and control center that is encircled by 3 rings of dug-in trenches. Each of them have various different crudely erected pillbox made of wood to provide some measure of effilation for those who attempt to charge this position. Pilgrims apparently have been here for some time, and this enough to entrench this forward operating base, but none of these structures that they've erected look like they've been there for some time. They look recent, and they're very crudely erected. What do you do?
First of all, I have a question.
Okay,
I am not a military person.
correct.
I do not know what a mortar is.
It looks like a metallic tube that is on a bipedal pod. Clem's probably never seen these before, and only those who are familiar with pre-war technology would even know what they are. You would know that they have rifles, and a lot of them, and a lot of pre-war guns. It's very apparent to you that these men are not an ordinary raider gang, as pre-war weapons are very rare in the Coalition territory. Who are these men? Where did they get all this hardware? And why are they here? Those are the questions.
Seems a little strange. But I'm just gonna keep on keeping an eye out, trying to see if I can't spot one of my men too.
Go ahead, Clems, and roll me. It is getting dark. Roll me a 1d20 plus 2.
Eight.
You do know that one of these, that the Warlock is not as far along as you are, as he is stationed further back, as he motions for you non-verbally. And then, just as you are trying to get his attention, you see something. The gleam of a metallic blade being flashed directly in front of you. And that is where we are going to leave off tonight's session. Before we close, I just want to take this opportunity to remind our viewers, if you like our content, please support us by liking and subscribing and donating to us. Every bit of support that you provide for us helps us to continue the good work that us and our team are doing here with Tales of the Rupture. And we hope that you enjoyed this, and we intend to put out more content for you guys. Thank you again for listening in, and I'll see you guys all next week.